I'm the paramedic program director for BMCC's paramedic EMT training program. Been with the University College since 1992. Basically, my responsibilities are complete oversight of the paramedic and EMT training programs. As you can see, we have a very good and staff that handles working with our students on a daily basis and ensures that we are able to have our students do really good work and be able to get good jobs in the EMS field.
Our program looked at the New York State minimum requirements and decided that that was not enough. So we exceed the minimum requirements by a great deal. We have more clinical hours, we have more classroom hours, we have more skill hours than most of the programs out there.
So when you come to the BMCC program, you're coming to the first nationally accredited paramedic training program in New York State. This is a great honor. We were the first in the entire state to really drive ourselves to an educational level that's really above and beyond and really takes our program to a very high educational level. That and we're really working closely now with a number of institutions using human patient simulation laboratories. This is something that's done really in advanced medicine. We're bringing it home now to paramedic and EMT classes where we can set up situations and the instructors and the faculty are trained to operate computer simulations and mannequins that are almost real life if you want to think about it, and they're able to learn in a controlled environment so that when they get into that uncontrolled environment out in the street, they're better prepared to handle those sorts of emergencies.
The program is extremely challenging. However, what I could say is those people that certainly prepare you for that challenge are pretty amazing.
I enjoy every single thing that the program has, especially the CPR, and we have learned a lot of skills that is going to help me out there in the future with any type of situation that I may encounter too.
So far, I like the program. It's a lot of information, definitely. It takes a lot of hard work, but I think it's spaced out, so it's definitely doable.
The first part of being a paramedic is becoming an emergency medical technician or EMT, and our program here is 160 hours long, which is 40 hours more than the state required minimum. In that program, they learn it in modules from the legalities first, as you heard earlier, basic airway control, CPR, of course, is the part of any program. They learn bleeding control, trauma management, how to splint, how to do what they call basic patient assessment, so how to assess a patient for illness or injury, and then manage that and know when to transport, when to call for more assistance. They'll take that minimum knowledge and enter into the paramedic program. We'll expand on that, and then they'll add things like pharmacology, electrical therapy, cardioversion, cardiac monitoring, advanced airway management. They'll do more with pediatrics, more with obstetrics.
What attracted me to BMCC is I was a former student here. So being satisfied when I did attend back when, I decided I'd return here. And what attracted me to the EMT or paramedic program is having such a strong interest in the medical field and not realizing that I had so much under my belt that I just needed one class before becoming an EMT. I made that choice.
I decided to come to BMCC because I was a former student before, and I decided to get into the EMT program, paramedic program, because I am the type of person that I like to be in contact with people. I have some kind of background in the hospital field, and the EMT program here is very challenging, and I'm planning to become a paramedic.
Once you enroll into the paramedic portion of the program, you're in school for 4 nights a week, a total of 16 hours a night of classroom sessions. And in that time you're in the program too, you're also doing clinical skill practice. Then you spend 16 hours a week on clinical sites, either in a hospital or on the ambulance. And when you're in the hospital, you're either in the emergency department, the operating room, intensive care unit, you could be in a lab, you could be in the obstetrics ward, you could actually be in a psychological ward. So they spend a lot of time in the field.
As part of any paramedic training program or EMS training program, students have to have the ability to have hands-on experience, both on an ambulance and in a hospital. We have clinical affiliation agreements with New York Hospital Medical Center of Queens, and we have a clinical affiliation with New York Downtown Hospital. We also have some other ones as well for ambulance, but those are our two primary sites. What happens is students come to class 4 nights a week, and then they spend a couple of days, usually a week, an 8-hour shift either on an ambulance working with qualified paramedics, or perhaps they're working with a emergency department physician, or they're up in the operating room doing intubations, or they're working in a critical care unit. And what this does is it takes the classroom experience and makes it live. So the two combined give the student a really good breadth of experience.
At New York Downtown Hospital, I basically work as a third with the medics, and sometimes they even let me run the call. They look at all the decisions that I would make. They wouldn't let me do anything blindly, but I am part of the team when I go to New York Downtown Hospital, whether it's giving them equipment or starting things myself, starting IV lines, doing EKGs, administering medications. I talk it over with them, and if they like my judgment, then that's the direction we're going. Or sometimes I'm just a set of eyes watching and observing and learning how to assess a patient and do it right, and eventually hopefully I can be just like them.
At New York Hospital Queens, I pretty much am a third with the other paramedics that are there that are working at the time. The people that I've worked with, they pretty much push you right in because I want to see what you know, how you're going to help this patient, what you're going to do. So we start IVs, we do EKGs, and from what we learned in class, we put clues together as to what's wrong with our patient, how can we help this person, and what's going on at the time.
We have some of the most diverse students that one could ever hope for. They come from all different walks of life coming into BMCC. I'm also blessed with a faculty that has years and years and years of experience in teaching EMT and paramedic students. And when you take those two ingredients together, what you can do is you can make a program that's interesting, it's challenging, they have the opportunity to learn. EMS is a very diverse profession. It's everywhere, and being able to have students who can graduate and go to work in a variety of different EMS functions is very positive, and I think we do that really well here.
What I learned in paramedic courses, I think, is the way the human body reacts to so many different situations that you wouldn't even see on a normal basis. That one thing in your homeostasis can just throw you off into altered mental statuses and things like that. I really didn't know it until I saw it right in the flesh. It's fascinating, I think.
When you get more into the program, we do mega codes. Mega codes are like the big deals, like cardiac arrest, for example. And the classroom prepares you with timing, as other students work with you. So you work as a team, and you utilize all of your knowledge and all of your skills.
I've learned so many cool things. It's hard to narrow it down to just one thing. Just maybe bringing somebody back from a cardiac arrest that might have died, or helping somebody that fell down the stairs, secondary to having a brain bleed and keeping her alive long enough to get her family together.
Well, I love to help people, and I love the human body, so I'm going to continue on to become a nurse anesthesiologist. Well, anesthetist. Yeah, a nurse anesthetist, and that's my goal. Hopefully I make it.
I think I'm going to work as a paramedic for at least 5 years. Hopefully I can sign up with the fire department and become maybe a rescue medic, because I like the whole excitement of that field. And then I'm going to try to get back into school and maybe try to finish off with PA, physician's assistant.
When I finish here, I definitely want to work as a paramedic and go overseas. That was my biggest plan, was to go overseas and work as a paramedic, and possibly continue on to medical school after. But I don't know. I'll just have to play that one by ear.
We actually do something we think is a little bit unique. We have graduates of our program come on the first night of class. And they speak to the brand new students who are in there the first night. And what they do is they say, listen guys, we were in your chairs 1 year ago. We know what it's like. We know what you're going to go through. And listening to their actual peers explain to them, you know, you may not make all the family birthdays, you may miss this, you may miss that, gives them the sense of, okay, well, if you can do it, I can do it. And they also learn the networking amongst themselves, and they know that they can always come to the faculty. We've also been in their seats at one point, so we're able to help them and we get them through.